So if you're talking about a David Moyes type side, even at home, you might see low possession. Mentioned they hadn't had 50% possession at home against the top 10 side last season, and you see how this breaks up. They struggled, didn't they, in that first 30 minutes. Then they got the penalty. Their tails are up for the next half an hour. 64% possession. Is that more where you expect them to get to under Lopetegui?
I think it's where the manager will expect them to get, but I think what we've seen, me and Jamie were speaking a lot during the game, that a lot of the signs from West Ham today were like last season. You know, they're playing long's not negative, playing long's pragmatic, and playing long to Souček tonight got them a penalty and it got them back in the game. And sometimes that's the way football's played. This modern progressive style of football isn't always the best, but I think under Lopetegui that is the direction that West Ham will go. And I think it comes back to the straight up facts post game. If you have more possession but you don't win the game, you've got to argue, well, it's not worth anything, is it?
The challenge, the obvious aim, Jamie, is to get into Europe. They've invested heavily, 8 signings, well over £100 million spent so far. But there's something else interesting, I think, about the signings that we should probably raise, and that's the average age of them. If you think tonight, the average age of the West Ham team, the starting 11 was 29 or just over 29, which is old in Premier League terms. Only Everton have had an older side so far this weekend from the start. The average age of their signings for outfield players was 25. The average age of the Premier League outfield signings was 22.8. So they're doing something slightly different. The suggestion being, Jamie, that this is about now. They've brought a new manager in, and the aim has got to be, if you're going to back him in this way, to achieve success now. This is not a building project, if you like. This is getting into Europe this season. Is this what we're talking about?
That's what they want. That's why they made the change of manager, because there'll be some that would argue, well, we were having good success. He was keeping us in a stable position in the Premier League. They'd obviously had huge success in Europe as well under David Moyes. I think it was more, as much as anything, of course you want to win games first and foremost, but they want to change a style. The fans feel that they want to be a bit more progressive, a bit more exciting. They've got players like Paquetá and Kudus, Bowen. Let's make the most of them. We don't want to see a team that's going to sit back here at home and maybe get a counter-attack or a set-piece goal. And I think that's what they're trying to, that's the main aim here. But that won't be any good if you don't get the results. You know, it'd be all right saying, oh, didn't we play lovely football today? Oh, but we lost 2-1. It has to work both ways.
Does that have to be the target? The European football again, given that level investment in more experienced players?
I think there's two things here with West Ham. I think there's the expectation of the fans, and I think there's reality. And I think sometimes, you know, we're only one game in, and yes, they've lost today and the fans will be disappointed going home, but I think under Lopetegui, they will play more possession-based football. But under David Moyes, they play less possession-based football, but they won a European trophy. And I think under David Moyes, in the 4 or 5 years he was there, he kept West Ham in touch with the elite in the Premier League. He kept them in touch. And I think these players that we're mentioning, the Bowens, the Kudus, the Paquetás, I don't know if they would want to be, 60, 70% possession-based teams. I think those are the type of players that thrive off instinct, that want to play. They want the ball to their feet. They want to go 1v1 and make things happen. My word, they have an exciting squad and they've recruited well. And that's really interesting what you've just told us there about the average age. But I think there is a little bit of pressure now for Lopetegui, not negatively, but, to go, okay, flip the style. I didn't see the style today. I didn't see a progressive, playing through the third style of football today. But I think that he needs more time with the squad to gel, and it'll be really interesting to see their journey this season, how they progress.
And they've got quite a tricky start on paper as well when you think about some of the fixtures coming up. Palace next, who've obviously been very good under Oliver Glasner, then home games against Bournemouth, and then Manchester City. They don't actually leave London until November. So there is a chance, Jamie, they don't like travelling too far, that they can bed something in here.
Yeah, I think so. And also you saw today, Jared Bowen is absolutely love him. He means everything to this club, and the way he plays, he leaves his heart and soul on the pitch. You could see that maybe with the Euros, I think he played 35 minutes in the Euros, didn't he? Probably not had the pre-season that he'd liked. It felt that normally for a lot of the players coming back, you can see Ollie Watkins today perhaps wasn't at his sharpest. It's going to take a little bit of time, not just for the tactics and the style of play to bed in, but it's also going to take some players that have maybe been not as involved in the Euros as they'd like to get up to speed. So it's going to take a bit of time. In terms of getting results, you look at those fixtures, and right now after losing the first one, and I'm sure the players think the same, we go, wow, they look difficult. And Aston Villa next week, if they'd have lost today, they're probably thinking, oh my goodness, we've got Arsenal at home next week. Now they're thinking, bring it on, can't wait to play against them. So that's how it can flip very quickly, you know, and you start looking too far ahead. He just needs to get some results, just calm things down. I do think about it midfield, when, like in terms of Rodriguez today struggled first half, but again, it's so early. You know, he's going to need a bit of time, because I'm sure in the first half he's probably looking, everything's flashing so quickly around him. It's his first experience of the Premier League. Alvarez is going to be, I'm not sure how long he is away from playing. So they've got to find the right balance, because Souček is obviously so important, and you made that point, and he does a good job, but he's such a symbol of what David Moyes did in midfield. You know, they get it forward, they win. I think if you want to be that sort of team, you might have to change the personnel in there as well.